So we are giving. Let us wait for crypto media to be ready.
Okay.
And where is Ingus? Ingus is here, yes? Okay. So, guys, I am really grateful to the chance that when the live brought us Ingus in, he was watching Facebook Lives of IBF, Internet Business Forum, and then he introduced the theme of Internet of People. That is one of the most organized cryptocurrency projects in the industry. And thank you for coming over from Germany. Thank you, Sebo. And thank you, Sebastian.
Okay, first of all, due SEC regulations, I want to highlight that this is a community presentation of the project. We are not associated directly with the IOP Ventures, and we are just private community members which are doing this presentation here now. First of all, here, my name is Severin, or most of the people know me as Sivo, and I'm in the project nearly since the beginning, and I do things like supporting the users, and also I'm the German ambassador of the project.
My name is Sebastian. I'm also an IOP veteran since 2017. I investigated at that time in the internet, found the project, found the community, and started to do activities from the community perspective. And now it's 2019, and we are back again in London for the second time to bring you the actual news and development from the project.
Yeah, some of you maybe are already holding the name it now old IOP coin, which we had because we are moving or we are actually moving to a new blockchain called the Hydra blockchain, which is an open DPoS system. We had in the past we had a more of a kind, a centralized mined license-based Bitcoin fork blockchain, and right now we have an open blockchain in which everyone is free to join the network, and where everyone could profit from it by voting with his coins and get a share of the reward, or even forming himself a delegate, him or herself. To kick in, I want to start with a video, and to get a quick overview about the project, and then we would continue with our pitch deck.
What is IOP and the Hydra token? IOP, the Internet of People, will revolutionize the way we use the Internet today. Currently, the web is being controlled by major gatekeeper companies that control personal data, communication, and the flow of data. Our decentralized approach, built with the latest cryptographic technologies and secured by our innovative blockchain, will give the power back to you. Hydra is a utility token that protects your digital identity, giving you full control over your data, social connections, and communication. All users will use it within the IOP ecosystem. Compared to other corporate digital identity solutions, we are completely gatekeeperless and not controlled by any consortium of major companies. Instead, the users themselves control the entire system. What industries is IOP going to innovate? Our solutions have been named by Forbes as innovating the blockchain industry. We are, however, confident that we can redefine even more industries. Our DID-based digital identity solutions can be used anywhere personal information needs to be verified. This could be a private individual, a university, a company, or any other organization. Currently, companies are spending over $8 billion on identity and access management, such as KYC tools, solutions that are expensive, inflexible, and insecure. We are confident that we can offer a much more cost-effective, safer, and efficient solution. We target our second set of solutions at P2P communication and data transfer. These solutions will transform the following markets: social networking, cybersecurity, P2P content delivery, data integration. Use cases. Our project is no longer just a white paper vision. We have already released several parts of the IOP tech stack and have a signed contract with the UAN, a Mexican university with over 30,000 students, and are in negotiations with several others that will use our solutions in a real-world application. This is where our Hydra token comes in. When a student creates an identity, registers at a university, requests verification of his student status, graduates, and goes on to another university program, Hydra tokens are being spent. Another major use case for our stack is identity protection. Due to KYC reasons and for monetization, many companies store huge amounts of personal data in data silos. This makes them an attractive target for hackers who regularly manage to gain access to them. Hackers can now use them for fraud, money laundering, and many other criminal activities. With our solution, all data is not only encrypted, but also decentralized and impossible to combine. This way, even a successful attacker can only gain a small piece of unusable information. Why the demand for the token will increase? Since the Hydra token provides real added value within the IOP ecosystem through its utility function, speculation alone will not drive the value. Our main target group for the next phase will be universities. Our project can easily be scaled because there are many universities with similar needs and use cases that we can help with our solution. Each university gained will result in additional multiple thousands of users, which makes it easy to reach a user base of millions of users. As more and more students use our identity solution and spend Hydra tokens, the demand for the token and their value will increase rapidly. Investing now means you can take part in the overall growth of token demand at an early stage. Another factor that will drive the value is the fact that we use a DPoS consensus mechanism. Therefore, a certain amount of coins within the ecosystem are being used for voting. Since the voters are keeping most of their coins out of circulation, the amount of available coins decreases and their value increases. In addition, the delegates share rewards with the voters, which gives all Hydra holders high profits through cold staking. The combination of staking, speculation-driven demand, and usage-driven demand make the Hydra token the ideal blockchain investment. Get your Hydra tokens now and be part of the next disruptive technology wave.
No financial advice. Thanks. Okay, we don't have a pointer. The token sale, we already heard it in the video, builds the basis to spread the network, to give the investors the ability to directly from scratch invest by voting to delegates to hire the stake and also to incentivize universities and other partners to build on the network. The Hydra token, as also said before, but just a tiny piece, will be directly used on the network to register DIDs, and the DID part came a little bit small in the video, so I would like to explain it to you. Nowadays, let's take as an example an exchange, an crypto exchange, which has heavy regulation terms to fulfill, and so you need to prove that you is you, and you are eligible to be an investor. You also have to prove that you have to present a proof of address, because in some countries like e.g. The United States, it don't has to be that the address given on your passport is the same address you are reachable by the post, and so we came up with our DIDs, where you could register yourself a self-sovereign ID, which you could get verified by a single party or more parties. Imagine you get by the post office. They knew where you are living, because every day they bring you parcels, and when they will verify yourself a claim that this is your address, you could cryptographically prove the ownership of this address, and that's what Morpholus is doing, and you are using all those tools with Prometheus, the app, and the SDK comes in for the developers, because the developers are able, with our open platform, to develop apps working on top of that. Because we are an infrastructure builder, let's say this, we want to build the infrastructure for a whole new ecosystem of the, let's call it Web 3.0 or something, where we are not completely relying anymore on central servers, which have their own data silos and which are not compatible with each other, and also where you don't have that much privacy you could have with us. Think about a young youth, 21 years old, still looks like 17, wants to drink something in a bar. He still have to prove with his ID card how old he is. And but the only thing the barkeeper needs to know is that he is 18, or in some countries he's 21. So with our DIDs, he could just get a proof this person is above 21 years old, or this person is above 80 years old, and he just would need to present a QR code asking that. He answered it with his mobile phone, and the other side will also be able to verify the answer of the phone that this is valid. It's in the offline world. It's a strange scenario, but if you go to the online world, it's an enormous step forward, because you could implement such things into software, so that you don't need anymore to have a person there which is checking if the data is valid. Today you send an image of your passport, and some person there is checking it. But here you have trusted partners, e.g. the German post office, the maybe governance of Switzerland, which also is working with some DID projects, and so the system has a list of trusted partners, and if the claim is from one of those trusted partners verified, then the system automatically could let you in.
So just to reiterate, the problem or the other problem centered around identity, usually it's a trust problem. So you have some kind of data or an ID. Usually it's a passport issued by governance, and the other thing is the data that is attached to it. And decentralized ID innovates this identity problem in a way that you don't need a central authority anymore to prove something, because you have the network that is doing that is securing the ID, and the mechanism works in a way that you can attach data to it, and then you can make so-called claims regarding that data that you want to prove, but you don't need to expose that data to
the blockchain,
to the one that you want to prove something to. And because it's decentralized, you don't need even a centralized authority. It's fail-safe in a way. It cannot be,
You want to highlight that it looks like PGP, but you buy.
No, the questions will be after that, please. Yes, okay. Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. We could also go to the investor benefits that we are. Our technology is established for 2 years. We are still there. We survived the bear market in crypto, which is still ongoing a bit, and we have significant traction through partnerships with academic institutions and coming more. Our business and production is already in workplace. Here we are established since 2 years. That's not the normality in crypto, because a lot of projects are raising funds for just paper, and after that starting the development. Our development is history as public, visible in GitHub, and everyone is free to look into the code and start testing with it. And we were also mentioned Forbes. Our DPoS system is also already live. The Hydra blockchain is live for all token holders which had the old IOP coin. We actually mine 0 coin blocks still on that chain to keep the chain alive. So everyone should be still able in the next 9 months or so to make the switch. But I recommend to do it as soon as possible, as every sooner you are on the Hydra chain, you will sooner profit from the reward system. The delegates themselves could share their rewards. It's market driven. Maybe you are a rich group of investors which would form a delegate on themselves. You are able to. You don't need to pay anything out. But as soon as more and more participants join the network, more and more delegates should pay out because they need the votes. And if I'm a voter, I would decide myself to vote for a delegate, which pays me out.
Everybody can become a delegate.
Yeah.
A delegate means you set up a computer,
a server with it,
with a special software, and then you register a delegate name
on
and
the blockchain.
Then you are listed as a delegate, or your server is listed as a delegate, and then you just need to collect votes. Votes are simply the amount of Hydra. So every wallet which has Hydras in it can vote, and through the votes the delegates are ranked, and the top 53 ranked delegates take part in the consensus mechanism and get the 8 Hydra block rewards plus the
12 seconds. But not the single one gets this. It rotates all 53 delegates every 12 seconds, another delegate, and then it begins again, and in each round every delegate earns 8 Hydra, e.g. my delegate mining Sivo is paying out 75%, and so I pay out 6 Hydra each round to all my voters, depending on their stake with which they voted for me. One thing to highlight, your coins always remain in your wallet and you just get rewards. So you send a vote, it costs an amount less than a Hydra, less than 1 Hydra, and this is recorded in the blockchain, and then everything you have in your wallet is voting for me. If you now maybe pay a merchant also with your Hydras, your amount inside your wallet will get reduced, and so the voting power of you also declines. Yeah, that's said to the delegates. Overview of the project phases. Yeah, here you see where we started. We started with a strange other name called FAMAT project in 2014. Then we had a community takeover, which took over the old project and began. This was nearly mostly just words, and here we made a cut with the whole community and started our own development, and after this we built Titania, the operating system for our whole platform. We developed prototypes of Mercury, and then we were still working on our next consensus, Hydra 2.0 consensus, which is still in development. But then we decided that it's ugly to still rely on a centralized blockchain, which we had more of a kind of a centralized blockchain.
Also, in order to make the ID possible, you need an open blockchain, not a closed one. So you need an open and open blockchain, also with faster block times, to get to be a utility token.
Yeah, and so we decided to create our own ARC sidechain, which is now the technology we are using. We also have joined the Powered by ARC program, which is also a name in the crypto scene. There's also a podcast ongoing where you could also hear a feature with us. Not with us personally, but with our
team members.
Okay. Sorry. Here's also a new summary to our vision. Yeah, to liberate the world of digital latency communications business interactions by actually eliminating gatekeepers.
So the vision relies to the whole IOP tech stack. The DID is just the first part, which is now the focus on and which already delivers a real world use case, and then the development will move on and realize the whole tech stack that will enabling person to person or business to business communication without intermediates.
Yeah, you will be able to send messages between persons and not between over a middleman. That means to still send messages from device to device, but you will send them from device to device. Nowadays you're sending a WhatsApp to a friend of you and you're typing it, hit send, and the message goes over the Great Lake, switches and comes back to your friend again over the Great Lake. And with IOP you will be able to directly address them over peer-to-peer network. So you won't rely on central institutions anymore, and so this also will be in the far future a network which even we as the project starters can't shut down anymore.
It's also like from a business perspective now the online business is relying on platforms like, for example, Facebook. You build a whole business around Facebook and then you are dependent on the terms of Facebook in order to do your business, and also in the way which customers you are able to reach through that platform. This is the main problem or the situation, like the online business, or you can also think of it in a more general way. Every business is dependent on intermediates, and there are possibility to cut out those intermediates in order to re-innovate the decentralized business, so to speak. These are some numbers and facts that give an example for the impacts that can happen if you have a business structure that relies on the infrastructure that is centralized in several points. Data breaches can happen. Privacy is in danger. And from a business point of view, all these or identity, KYC, know your customer, these mechanisms or the lack of structure in order, or also the infrastructure we have now is not able to, or is able to do that, but it's associated with high costs and certain risks that in itself you can think of it at high costs, and that is simply the main problem that you can reduce it to is the fact of centralization and to have middlemen in between that can fail or that can do what
and that they own too much data in the silos that they don't need. So if they would just own the verified claim, a hacker which would steal it can't do anything with it, because the claim also has included for which correspondent it is claimed. So if a hacker steals the data from, let's say, Amazon, he can't go with the data which verifies the regular buyer on Amazon on, let's say, Alibaba, because if he tries to register it there, he can't sign it that this person now wants to be wants to have a verified claim on this side, because both partners are inside this so-called verified able claims.
The data is not exchanged. It's just
proven.
proven
That
it's just proved that based on some data, some
relationship exists.
Exists. So, like an example, like some online platform does not have your data anymore. It just knows that you live in Germany, that you are above 18, just the facts, but they own not the data proving these facts. So it reduces the amount of risk by reducing the amount of data that is shared in order to do the proving.
Yeah.
So,
willst du noch technisch reingehen?
Ja, just to get a basic idea how this infrastructure works is we have our new Hydra chain, which has a fast performance, a so-called utility token. It's a building block in itself, like you can trade the Hydra tokens. And
send it, receive, and also stake it. Yeah.
And the blockchain is used to store the decentralized ID, so it's like an anchor. You register your ID.
Therefore, you have to pay the network fee in Hydra.
This will drive the token economy, and then you have like an application layer called Morpheus, which will implement the ID software, so to speak, and provide a software interface to handle all mechanism, all actions and use cases related to decentralized ID. Then we have, this is soon will be ready, the Morpheus layer. Then we will have the Mercury peer-to-peer protocol layer. This is also already available in an alpha state. This will be used with Mercury. You can think of a decentralized protocol which will be used for peer-to-peer communication, which will use Morpheus for like setting up your profile. Your profile will be used, which is set up in Morpheus, will be used as your like Telegram name or your telephone number. So the DID will be the anchor for your profile, where you can attach data to, and the communication is done via Mercury. And then we have Prometheus, which is
basically the user interface. The user interface you use to. As an end user, you will just use Prometheus, or you will use
a third-party app.
Use a third-party app which relies on that, which we can't right now imagine.
And also, what Prometheus will be the new wallet at the moment as an Arc sidechain.
We are using the Arc wallet, and I would love to present it later afterwards, the presentation to you if someone is interested.
And also Prometheus will like make it more user friendly to manage your
funds.
Your funds, your keys. You don't need to tackle with the passphrase because it's like abstracted through your DID in Prometheus. So it's like a more user-friendly approach to simply have a Hydra wallet also.
Yeah. And all those things will further be integrated into the Titania operating system, which is basically an operating system for actually the Raspberry Pi, where you could have Dockerized all our tech stack to use it right as a plug-in device.
Titania will be some kind of like a home node, or you can think of it like a trusted node that you can set up anywhere you want, and you enter the network.
You don't need it to use it, but if you are a privacy-focused person, you could use it as an entry point. Yeah, here are just some numbers about IOP. We had in a snapshot we had over 4.5k IOP wallets active. These are accumulated, not a single wallet address. Those are just some, you would know it, fun fact, blockchain analysis. We have a signed partnership with the Autonomous University of Nayarit in Mexico, as said also in the video, and also active negotiations with the University of Siegen in Germany, and also one in Brazil, with a potential user base of more than 200,000 students. And we are still in talks with more universities. Okay, to the token sale, we are doing our token sale on Simple Swap. That means you could participate with the most of the major crypto coins, and you could say there has never been an easier IEO, because on Simple Swap you just type in how much you are willing to spend. You get the amount you will get in Hydra, and then you click next. You choose your preferred currency, BTC, Ethereum, Dash, and when you click next, you get a field where you paste in your Hydra address, and within the next step where you also click next, you get a QR code and also an address where you send your funds, which you typed in before, let's say 1 Dash, and after 6 confirmations your Hydra will be sent out. No friction, no KYC, nothing needed, just straightforward.
Simple swap.
Simple swap. Unsold hardware will be kept by the project and used as reserves, but all addresses are public. You could see they won't don't participate in the voting, project reserves will not be used for voting or participating comments in any way. Those reserve wallets will be published. We announce they are already. You could already see them in our Block Explorer, and so follow the money if you are interested in. Here just the token allocation. This is the Hydra ERC20 token swap. We had also a tiny token sale on
a pre-project called
pre-project
Hydra, which was implemented as ERC20.
Yeah, and we never scammed anyone by saying, okay, that was bullshit from before, we won't implement it. No, we reserved them. The sold 31 million coins, and even if you own those ERC20 Hydras, you are able to move them over to the Hydra chain. And so also of course the IOP coin, which is also 1-1 swap, and yeah, there are already a lot of coins burned. There are still some in circulations. Maybe there are also some people which lost their keys. We will see in the next month. But
so and the old chain will be live for like not
for at least minimum 9 months, but probably longer. But not rely on it. Also, there's still no sense for holding the IOP coin anymore, because Hydra will be the trademark
more
asset
about like people invested in IOP, then
and
lose contact, and then at some point they get the new news, and then they need to be able to do the legacy swap at a later time.
Yeah. Yeah, marketing. Our target groups are investors that buy and hold the tokens, and academic partners, which will implement our solutions or will build own projects on top of our infrastructure, with our development supporting them directly. We are always looking out for other universities which would likely to like to work with us. We are happy to maybe send their a dev someone from us to introduce them into our technology stack. And if you know someone, just recommend him IOP, recommend him us, and we will forward the questions, and so hopefully one or more new partnerships will establish. That's nearly everything again. Everything in partnership with the university on umbrella university organization represents a fractional increase by tens of thousands of new users, of course. And also thinking about students, they are learning with one technology, and they are going to the public, and after that, if they don't lost their brain in the university, they will still remember us, and maybe they will also implement us in their company.
Also, the kind of use cases will scale. Like one university will start with one use case, like I don't know, ID tracking through the ID, and then different use cases. Once one use case is established and manifests itself and is practically well received, then the university will do the next organizational thing. They will open up a new use case which needed some kind of identity problem to be solved. So it's like a multi-dimensional growth.
Yeah. Academic ambassador program. Yeah. Here see where in the world we actually have ambassadors in academics, universities, some countries you see, Italy, Germany, UK is still white, maybe. Someone he has a partner. That's again about the delegates. The delegates are also independent marketing ambassadors, as they need voters, so they need also marketing the project, maybe for new voters, and also they have a demand not to sell their tokens, because maybe if they would sell a significant amount of their own tokens, they won't be anymore in the top 53, and so they also grow the.
It's completely market driven. At some point, now we are in the early beginning. You can just open up a delegate and
try to get enough votes.
Yeah, but at some point you need to provide content to travel through the world, deliver the message in order to receive enough votes to stay in the ranking.
Yeah.
So
it's a continual service improvement.
That's a completely market driven. The delegates or the community around the project will somehow drive the activity that drives the value of the token.
Yeah. Yeah, the IOP community in numbers in our Discord group, which is also mainly used for the, let's say, deeper development communication, but everyone is welcome. Are already 710 members, Facebook page 6K users, Telegram also 6K users. I'm personally very active on Telegram, so they normally reach also me. Just at Mining Sivo, there you will find me, or just ask where's Sivo, and I will answer, or someone else will ping me. On YouTube we have 10K followers, Facebook group 50K members, and on LinkedIn, just started on LinkedIn. And here this picture is from our last People First conference, which we held in Berlin. Normally you should also find me and.
Yes. I'm over there.
Yeah. We are here. New demand for rising token price. In order to make new potential investors aware of IOP, we will be present on several second-party platforms such as top-tier online magazines and YouTube formats. We already got a review by Ivan on Tech, which some of you should know, and it's also completely independent. When you request a review from Ivan on Tech, he has so much credibility to lose if giving out a paid message. So the deal with Ivan on Tech is when you give him money to do the review of your project, he says, if I feel like your project is just a scam project, I would take the money and tell that to my followers. So it's a real
independent review.
Yeah.
He has done his own research and presented his opinion at his channel.
Yeah. But also, here again, no financial advice. Do your own research. Just to be sure.
If you have questions and need further understanding, deeper or in a more personal way, other than we could provide through the presentation, talk to us here or contact us on the several social medias.
Yeah.
And then if you are sure, or if you make sure that you understand what you are investing in, and then make your own decisions.
The current roadmap again, and more bigger is the Hybrid DevNet. We already did. Hybrid DevNet to public. Was very busy days. Mainnet ready. We always passed it. end of the year, Prometheus as the light wallet for a Hydra chain will be ready. Right now, as I said before, you have to configure it in the Arc wallet, but it's not such a tough task. We could also show it later to interested individuals or even a group. Which is here, which stands here for the Q1 of the next year, is also already visible as a demo, but not yet on the mainnet, but it will be. And up to then, the implementation begins of Hydra 2.0. The whole stack is being developed after that, and but there, like development always, you can't get exact dates when which part will be finished, because we are building infrastructure, and thereby strange things could happen, and you have to rethink some ideas. So but we have a product. We will have a stronger product, and we still have a lot of plans for the future. Then a short overview of our team. This is Markus Maywald, our founder, and you could also find the team on the team page on our website iop.global. I will just give you a short overview. Juan is our global ambassador, or global and Mexican, as he is also living in Mexico, and he also managed to get us the deal with the UAN, the Autonomous University of Nayarit, in Tepic, Mexico, which is also the home city of Juan, as I know. Strategy lead Alexei Martinel, project architect, technical coordinator. Who's interested? Next one. More interesting. No. When you will be in, you are looking for the devs, as said before, better go to the Discord. But we could also, of course, redirect your message from Telegram. But when you are in Telegram, you will mostly be in contact with Christian, which is our head of marketing and also the community manager.
Also, there are some team hangouts which you can take. One has already happened, another one will follow. It's on
with
YouTube,
the state of the project,
where you can chat with, follow it, chat with
and keep yourself in the loop.
Yeah.
Okay, then one more thing. As said before, we have the partnership with the UAN, and these are now news which aren't yet publicly announced, and which will also take some days or so to be publicly announced. But yesterday I spoke with our founder, and he said the contracts are already signed and we could publish it. Maybe someone could read what's written in behind on the building of Juan. Instituto Nacional Electoral in Mexico. We will be used as the infrastructure for an MVP developed by the Autonomous University of Madrid to build a blockchain-based voting system for the Mexican government. And then we could think about huge demand for DIDs in the future. Yeah, that's...
For Mexican government.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the last folie.
Can you give us 2 more minutes on voting for the Mexican government? Is it for on what scale?
On what scale? It will be for the national votings for presidential elections, but we can't name a date because the contract is signed between the UAN, the university, and they have also a signed contract with a partnership with the IOP Ventures for supporting the development, and so the tech stack used for that voting system will be Hydra and the IOP.
The voting software will be developed by the university.
And then they are using using our tech stack and also getting support by our developers on how to implement things on our network.
Okay, thank you. That's the first one. Now a few questions. Who's got a question? Mr. Bitcoin?
Oh, yeah.
You were
about that. You told in the beginning about those proofs, like you can prove that some person is like over 18 years old and without like giving out the details. Like how it works technically, it's some kind of zero knowledge proof, so it's just some parties has access to full data and then they sign your client. How it technically works.
It's you.
Potato stamp. Potato stamp. Potato stamp.
Potato stamp? Komm jetzt gerade nicht drauf, was du meinst.
No, it's not. So it's. I think it's more about the infrastructure. You need some routes to make your claim. Like this can be even the government that is supporting your claim, and then you don't need to exchange your. You don't need to show your passport to prove that you are 18, because you can make a claim against the passport issued by the government, and then the claim will just be over 18, yes or no.
You don't have to you can implement on top of that some kind of zero knowledge. I'm very carefully by using the wording zero knowledge proof, because imaginary I already feel one of our core devs on my head, but it's a you just need a verifiable. You send a request. Are you over 18 and getting an answer 1 or 0?
That signs your claim that it's correct, right?
Or other persons, like if I get 10 people supporting the claim that I am my ID, then you have a web of trust that my ID can be used to verify that I'm myself.
Imagine in our vision ideal world where the ID system is implemented everywhere. So you have a profile which you use for governmental things, like you are verified by your bank account, by the governmental ID, and then you also have one with your friends, and they could also refer to you, and you could, without linking it on the blockchain, prove that you are the person on the other profile, but you could also imagine you are a barkeeper, and you also know the barkeeper three streets away, and trust that barkeeper there. And if now you accept people that he accepts, you could also rely on that as an if
Basically, it's like that of trust. You're trusting some party.
yeah, and also it's important to understand that our claims are not always written into the blockchain. The DID is registered on the blockchain, and if you have something that you want to be written on a blockchain, you could do it, but you could also just store your claims directly on your device with Prometheus, and you are not forced to push them to the chain.
So let's say I have another question about you were talking about that messaging peer-to-peer
Yeah.
system. How is blockchain already there?
No, it's not. It's peer-to-peer.
No,
but
it's not blockchain.
Okay.
it's encrypted peer-to-peer network,
Yeah.
and then you can combine it with the
I'm
DIDs.
asking because there
Yeah.
is like on some people have built some messaging platforms on top of like Bitcoin Cash
Yeah.
blockchain where they encrypt all data and all the messages and put in the blockchain. I think that doesn't make any
no,
sense.
no,
Why
that's-
do you want to
No.
broadcast private
No.
messages to the whole world? Yes, it's encrypted, but still, what's the point?
Yeah.
Blockchain does not solve every problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to combine it with other technologies.
Then two questions from my side.
Yeah.
So the first one, what about know your customer? You are Germany based, and
Yeah.
does government require you to ask data about your customers?
Where?
You are selling tokens.
We are not selling tokens. We are just community members, and the IOP project.
Yes.
They
so
who
you are
is-
saying
who is
it is
selling-
IDO or ICO?
It isn't a public token sale.
It is a public token set, so
Yeah.
ICO. Yes.
No.
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 In the initial
It's an already established blockchain with the coins are already there, and it's let's say it's an IEO.
means exchange, when exchange is
and
tokens
Simple
also.
Swap is our exchange. The price the price is in fluctuates in a Dutch auction style. So we start on Monday midnight Central European on 6 cent dollar cent equivalent, and decline down to 2 cent on Sunday.
Over the
Midnight.
course of the week, there will be
Yeah.
different amounts
But-
every week, and then
Yeah.
the price will decrease, and
Yeah.
you have to choose when to hit the button.
and maybe someone will say, okay, 3 cents are okay for me, and buy the whole demand, and okay.
And the other question, how much money are you going to invest yourself?
I already invested, but as a lot of wise people said, don't talk in numbers. but I already invested a lot. I invested more than most together.
Thank you for our guests from Germany once again, Sebastian and Sebo.
Yes.